A short check-in from Scotland, Edinburgh. Is it Edinburgh? Edinburgh? I always hear different pronunciations. I don't know which is which. I am on my fifth day here, fifth and final day here. I leave tomorrow to go to London for another 5 days, and then I get to go back home. It's been a great trip. Solo, a lot of great food. There's so many great things about this city. Just a few quick observations. People seem really happy here. I don't know. You rarely see people on their phones. Well, I don't know why I equate that to happiness, but maybe it's just more of people are really living in the moment, it seems like. Then again, I've walked past a lot of bars because there are a ton of pubs in downtown, and I've stopped into a few. But there's just, I don't know, maybe it's because people on vacation. I'm near the Royal Mile, which is a big tourist area. They told me yesterday, they said the King's gonna be here tomorrow. I didn't know what they meant. And then I said, oh, you mean King Charles? Yeah. He's either here today or tomorrow or sometime this week for some event. But it's I don't know. I've never been in a major city where I've never once felt even remotely unsafe. No, knock on wood. But just a very clean. There's services everywhere. You can get water in the streets. If you want to fill up your bottle of water. Just beautiful. There's a park that I went to that's about a mile from here, and it's one of the most beautiful parks I've ever seen in my life. I would look it up, but I would have to pick up my phone, and right now I have it sitting on some contraption trying to keep it from falling down, so I'm not going to look it up, but I'll provide some more notes later. But if you're ever thinking of coming here, a few of my favorites. The best pub that I've been to is called Panda and Sons. That was referred to me by a gentleman in a clothing store. I bought a jacket and asked the salesperson for some recommendations. He recommended that place, and it is fantastic. It's like a speakeasy, no sign outside. You kind of just have to know. It looks like an old barber shop, but the pub is actually below the old barber shop. But just a great place. Gentleman there, one of the servers was so helpful. And I was there when it opened at 3 p.m. yesterday. Had a beer and a whiskey drink. And just the service there was just incredible. I left a pic. Some of you know that this has been an ongoing thing since my brother passed away. Barbara Manning, the musician who was friends with Lane, keeps getting new guitar picks that say Lane Campbell on one side and Wish You Were Here on the other, and people are leaving them all over the world. So I left one at Panda and Sons. So if you ever go in, turn to the right, the first table underneath. Take a look and see if that pick is still there. The best meal I had, looks like my handwriting's terrible. The Swan and the Scally, I think, S-C-A-L-L-I-E. Had lunch there 3 days ago. Tremendous. I should really go back there for dinner tonight, but I'm gonna stay more local. This is the first day that I haven't walked like 1 billion steps. And, I keep track of that on my Apple Watch. I think I'm averaging like 18 or 19,000 steps a day, or 17,000, something like that. Today's only like 5, so I'm gonna go for a walk before I have an early dinner. Today I went to the National Gallery of Scotland, beautiful museum. And what's also shocking, everything's free. The museum was free. There's a couple other places I went that I assumed would charge. Just different sites. Nothing, they don't charge for anything. It's just, I don't know. It's a cool place. I like it here. Well, maybe I could live here. And just in terms of everyone being housed, I haven't seen many. I think I saw one or two people panhandling in the 5 days I've been here. One, I think. And almost no police presence. I saw my first 2 police officers today on the street. There was nothing, they were just hanging out, chatting with some locals or visitors, but it's just very different than the US. And I know that's obvious, but it is a little bit of a culture shock when you're here. It's just a nice city. So today, this morning, I went to this coffee shop that I've gone to twice. I haven't really looked around for record stores. I looked when I first got here and then sort of just moved on because I really wanted this to be less about shipping home a bunch of records and more just about enjoying the city. But I walked out of this coffee shop on a block that I have walked on probably 10 to 15 times, and right next to it was a record store. And this was the record shop. Underground, I don't know what the second word is. I went in and I bought a couple things. I'll share with you. It was nice enough, he asked me if I was traveling. I said yes, I'll be flying back, so he put the records in this cardboard. Really nice guy at the record store. And I bought, first, I could not believe this was available on vinyl for the first time. Gavin Bryar's The Sinking of the Titanic. So I bought this on CD at Amoeba Records in San Francisco in 2011 or 12, and it was right after reading an interview with Tom Waits, where I think he said this was his favorite record of all time. And what it is basically mirroring the sounds of the band, what was it, the orchestra, whatever that was on the Titanic near the end. It's a very haunting record, but it's very, I don't know, calms the mind. I remember I bought this record when I was dating somebody in 2011 or 12, and we used to listen to it all the time. She loved it, and I just can't believe that it is now out on, I guess it came out last year. So this is just, this is one of those where you're like, oh my God, like I saw it and I was like, did this come out a long time ago and I just never seen it? But the owner of the store was really psyched when I got this. He said he loves this record. So I was in a little bit of a minimalist, I guess, mood. So I also picked this up. It was just, I rarely buy based on cover or sort of the, what do they call it, the hype sticker? Is that what this is called? But I thought this was a really beautiful cover. And I looked it up and it got really good reviews. Ryuichi Sakamoto, I believe. I don't know if the first name pronunciation is correct. Sakamoto, last name. The album is 12, 1, 2. So I got those 2 records. That was it. And then I tried to buy a t-shirt from the store, but he didn't have my size, but he had this, which is a record, I guess a minimalist record label in the area, and he gave you a free download card if you bought their label t-shirt. So I bought this, and it's some of the nicest material I've ever felt in a t-shirt. So that's it. Again, it's been a great stay. I'm gonna go out for another walk right now. I really miss my dog. So I can't wait to get home to see him, but maybe I'll do a video from London. I hope you're all doing well. The mental health stuff I am gonna do. I'm gonna do it in July. Wait, it is July. I'm gonna do it in mid to late July when I'm home. I think I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 different parts. I'm still sort of thinking through. I'm not gonna rehearse anything, but I think it's gonna be sort of my history with mental illness, mental health. And then maybe a separate video on what has worked for me and how I manage it. So probably just 2, but I'm hoping that it'll be helpful to somebody out there, because the resources that I've had have all been extremely helpful to me. And the least I can do is share in a video what those were and are. So I will be doing that when I'm back home. I've been listening to the Beatles and Nick Drake almost the whole trip, and God, it really sounds better. I mean, how can Nick Drake and the Beatles sound better? But they do when you're actually in the UK. That's it. Thanks for stopping by. Again, from Edinburgh, Scotland. Again, I'll try and do a video from London, and I will be in touch soon. Take care, everyone.